Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are going to be working on several different things, very diverse group of things today. I want to give you a tour of the plants in this corner of the South Garden. This is kind of a back corner area that I still wanted to be really pretty because we do drive by it quite often. So I've got a bunch of beautiful stuff I want to show you. Also, I need to harvest blackberries again, and we're going to be giving those berries to my mom. She's wanting to do something with them. And then we're going to either end up in the pond grooming plants or in the garden grooming plants. But while that's going on, I've got sourdough rising in the kitchen right now. My sister-in-law is here today, Erin's sister Alyssa, and she is teaching me all about sourdough. She's just walking me through the process. She told me everything I needed, and she's just standing right there and just teaching me as we go through the process, which is so fun. I love sourdough bread. I know it's like this huge trend right now, but I never really got on board because I felt like it was going to be too complicated and I just didn't really have the brain space to figure it out. And she's just like, I will teach you and I will show you everything. So it takes all the guesswork out of it for me, which is so wonderful. And Pedro and his crew right now are in front of the Hartley putting in the new sprinklers already. So we are going to have grass back in that space really soon, and we'll finally have a defined flower bed. So I know where I can plant and I can really start thinking about what we want in that space. So we will take a look at that later as well. But starting right here, look at this corner. So if I turn all the way to the right, you will see that we are in front of the dumpster. The corners where you keep your garbage cans usually aren't, highly trafficked areas, but we go by it enough in a day that I just wanted it to still be pretty. And I think it absolutely is. So let's start right here because this is the Supertunia Tiara Pink. This is a new one for next year. Right here you can have some sort of an idea of what the landscape performance is like on this plant. And that's why we like to put it in both containers and in the ground so that you can see and kind of learn from our experience. It's beautiful. Right behind that, I planted some pink Baptisia, and I can't remember the exact name, but it's kind of a very light pink. It's beautiful. I do have a pale yellow hollyhock in here. They've already bloomed and been cut back. And then going here to the right, we have some chamomile, the ground cover type right here. A little bit of it died out, and I'm thinking maybe we have a drip issue right here because I had a Supertunia. You can kind of see where I had it planted, and it also didn't thrive. So there's got to be something wrong with the water. That's what's going on there. But we've got some Veronica right here, just a light purple. And then there's some, is it Anne Folkard geranium, hardy geranium? It was a variety I transplanted from another part of the garden, and the color works perfect back here. Then we've got the Limelight Prime hydrangeas right back in here with the denim and lace Russian sage. This is a pink salvia. We'll put the name on the screen. It is not pink profusion. It's a beautiful, just soft pink. I love this. This is still its kind of first flush of blooms. We have not cut this one back yet at all, but I can see it's starting to form up new buds in there as well. We've got some back and black sedum, Ruby Chip Junior Buddleias. Isn't that gorgeous? And that's about its full size. And I've got 3 of them that circle around the base of the most glorious hibiscus. This is Lilac Crush. These flowers, they're massive. They're supposed to be like 8 inches, definitely 8 inches. And just loaded up with blooms. They've been loaded for weeks now, and they've got tons of buds. They'll just keep going through the rest of the season. And then right below that, we've got the Serendipity alliums, which always put on such a spectacular show. And the honeybees, they're loving it. And then below that, I have a variety of creeping thyme, which I need to come in and just shear off the blooms. This was the blooms earlier on this summer, and they've got a nice leaf canopy down below. And this right here is soapwort, so it blooms pink in the early spring, and I want to fill in this whole edge with that. So we've got some early spring color in here. We did transplant a bunch of alliums into this space, so this next year we should have some big purple sphere-shaped blooms. I do have a Cheyenne Sky panicum right in here, which I think is a really nice break in texture. And then we just kind of move into the more of the garden past this space. And if we continue walking down this way, the color palette kind of changes and shifts into some more warm colors actually. We've got the Supertunia Persimmon. We've got I think that's Sunjoy Tangelo Barberry, Montana Moss Juniper looking awesome. Black Lace Elderberries, Mr. Mustard Spirea. We'll just go to the end here. There's some more thyme. This is the Cottontail Yarrow, which you can see its first flush of blooms, and we did not get after deadheading it. And you can see the bottom blooms down here. That's its second flush. So that's more of what it looks like, the fresh color. Monarda right here, I think this is pardon something lavender, something like that. I don't know, we need to deadhead that one, but another allium. King of Ages, daylily right here. These, you can tell based on the bloom stalks that are still here, have just gone for it. And we've got the blue bubbly baptisia right here. Amazing show earlier on in the season. More persimmon supertunias. There's some honeyberries in here, a Russian sage, and yarrow. That's a Durvella that I think we need to move. Variety is Kodiak Fresh, and I can't tell if it's just getting way too much sun or if it's iron deficient. Usually I can tell the difference. I'm thinking that it might just need a little bit more protection. And just beyond that, you can see I've parked right here, right next to our blackberry bed. Let me show you what we've got going on here. I mean, the plants are just absolutely loaded. Oh my goodness. We have a lot to harvest. Look at the size of these berries. It just smells sweet when I walk by these plants. Oh. Okay, we've already harvested blackberries together earlier on, not that long ago. So I'm gonna try to make quick work of this so we can move on to our next project. I haven't even moved from my first spot yet. Already have a whole cup full. I'm just so thrilled with this. So much so that I think that we should take an unscheduled break and take these down to the garden center right now. But I need to check on the progress of the sourdough. I have no idea what time it is. I don't have my phone with me, which feels weird. Must have left it somewhere. Sourdough hasn't quite risen all the way. So Samantha and I are gonna run these blackberries down real quick. Isn't that awesome? Yum. I don't think they're gonna fly out of here. You wanna help hold it? Hello.
Oh my goodness. Whoa. Oh my god. Would you try blackberries? Oh my word. They just came out of our daughter's garden. I'm gonna make
What?
jam.
You're gonna make jam? Nice. Yeah. Can you?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Like, look at the size of some of these. They're huge. All right, guys, we are back home. We got the blackberries delivered to my mom down at the garden center, and I did the next step in the sourdough process, which was cutting the dough in half. It makes 2 loaves. Cutting it in half, shaping. We let it rest for 10 minutes, and we shaped it again. Now it is resting in the little baskets. They have like little bonnets on them, so it'll rest there for 2 to 3 hours, and then I'm gonna pop them in the fridge overnight, and then we'll bake them in the morning. A lot to learn, but I'm so thankful that I'm learning from somebody who knows what they're doing. Makes a huge difference. Makes it seem a lot easier. If I was doing it on my own, I'd probably be overwhelmed. So now I am going to go get the hip waders and where are the chest waders, and we're gonna get into the pond and groom because that really needs to happen. There they are. I don't really feel like getting completely wet today, so we're gonna put these on. All right. Do you see the fish was all high centered up there on a rock. Okay, just want to show you real quick what we've got going on in here. Like, I'd like to get in, I don't need to necessarily get into groom this iris right here, but I want to get in and groom the lilies because there are some leaves on there that are kind of starting to deteriorate, and I just want to groom up all these plants. There's fresh growth underneath, and just get the, you know, tired looking stuff all taken care of. And let's see, on this side, the fish are like, oh, you're here to feed me. Look at that. Definitely getting used to us. The lilies, though, are just gorgeous. Look at that yellow one right there. And then the tropicals with the blue blooms. Oh, they're so beautiful. So overall, really gorgeous growth, but some tired looking stuff too. So I think it'll be good to get in there and just kind of clean it up a little bit. And it's a nice day for it too. It's still hot, even though it doesn't look like it is. So let's get our nice outfit on and then we'll get in and get this job done. But we finished just in time for the sun to come out and everything looks so much better. I was actually able to reach most of the plants from the outside of the pond. I only had to put the chest waders on when it was time to go in and groom up the lilies and this one iris. I did not attempt to groom this from the outside because I would have had to been really close to this Russian sage and there are honeybees just everywhere on it and I didn't want to risk it. So I did that one from inside the pond. Look at those lilies though, all groomed up, looking so great. The white stuff on top of the lily pads, that's hard water, and that's just something we have to deal with. I don't notice it as much on the hardy water lilies, just on the great big tropicals. I don't know why that is. That's a tropical over there. And then of course this one and this one. And you want to know the interesting thing, and this was an experiment, I did not repot this one, but I did repot this one. And clearly the one on the left here has put on a ton more growth. I should have tried to maybe untangle these a little bit. Anyway, I'll work on that, but not near as much growth, and the lily pads are much bigger on this one. Isn't that funny? I didn't realize it would make so much of a difference so quickly. The whole pond plant thing is a new learning curve for me, so it's gonna take me a while. I love to see though the dragonflies, they come and they rest right on the tips of the grass, or the irises rather. Look at that. Look how close it'll let me get. So neat. Yeah, so I just started right in here, groomed these up. Look at this. Oh, it's so pretty. The iris over here needed quite a lot of grooming. Thankfully, those two over there are potted. The others are planted, so those were easy. I just popped those up out of the water, groomed them, and put them back down in there. I did reach that red grass over there from inside the pond as well, just because there's water all the way around it. We're gonna go up to the top here of the pond. Groomed this one. It was full of dead leaves. Oh, look at it from up here. Isn't it gorgeous? There were two iris over here. One of them was almost dead, so I took it out. And then got this little corner all done. The only one I didn't spend a lot of time on was this corkscrew rush, just because it would have just taken me forever. If I would have started with that one, I probably would have spent the time doing it, but because it was toward the end, I was like, nah, it's fine. Here's a look from this side. Yeah, that just makes everything look so sharp. To have the plants looking better in there. Don't see a whole bunch of dead tips and dead leaves on things. The one thing I haven't been doing is fertilizing the pond plants. I know that water lilies, like especially the tropicals, are supposed to be fertilized really regularly for huge growth, but they said that by doing that, it might make the string algae problem possibly worse until the pond has found its balance. And the pond's working on it. I mean, it really looks so much better than it did. I mean, the fact that we can look straight down in there, we can see all the fish, we can see all the rocks, is amazing. And the only part, and I think I've just showed you this recently, the only part that still has a little bit, and it's not even that stringy anymore, it's just kind of like little puffs, is right over here, and that's even clearing up. And this is where they're going to be taking out the rocks, and there's a big roll of pond liner still under here. They just buried it because they knew that they were going to be extending it when they put this in. In fact, I think that's when the idea came about. They had this huge piece at the end, and they were like, let's just extend it at some point. So they buried it so it would be right here. So they'll be tearing this part of the pond up to take off in the other direction. So the stream will come right out through here. Not too long from now. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for today's projects. It was just a wonderful afternoon getting the blackberries all harvested. Again, there's still a whole bunch out there. I feel like I could go out there and probably fill up another basket, but I just wanted to get those delivered to my mom when they were at peak so she could get her jam made, and then getting in here and getting the pond done. It's been kind of like on my list and kind of moving to the top of my list over the last week or so, so it was nice to get in there and just get it done. And then I will show you. I'll do a quick PS here in a minute, and I will show you how the bread turns out. I'm hoping for the best. Alyssa says everything's looking good and right on track, so tomorrow morning I should be able to bake. So we'll see you in the morning. I meant to show you both loaves when they were done, just sitting side by side, but we've already started to eat one of the loaves, and they're so good. So this is the first one. Listen to that. I don't know if you can hear it with the paper. Crusty and beautiful. And then look inside. So good. And I love that it's a little bit sour, but not really sour. It's just the perfect balance, and all four of us love it. Anyway, so excited about it.